You're listening to the Goalpreneur podcast with Courtney Spaeth, the go-to place for ambitious and driven female entrepreneurs looking to elevate their business and life. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help you dream bigger, think bolder, and achieve your next level of success. No playing small here, only strategies and encouragement to help you shine. And now, here's your host, educator, personal development enthusiast, and holistic esthetician, Courtney Spaeth.
Welcome back to another episode of the Goalpreneur podcast. I'm Courtney Spaeth, and we are just a little bit into the new year, and I gotta say the holiday season just totally flew by. I feel like every October when Halloween comes around, that it zips right into Thanksgiving, and then it flash forwards into Christmas, and then right away it's New Year, and then we're starting all over again. I don't know if that's how you feel. If you do, comment below, let me know, send me an email or connect with me on Instagram at I am Courtney Spaeth and at the _Goalpreneur. And yeah, it's that weird time between Christmas and New Year's. It's just, I don't even know what day it is. My kids are off of school, and you probably feel this way too. It's just like there are no rules, and maybe you start thinking about the new year. Maybe you start thinking about your goals. I don't know what you're thinking about, but during that time, it's like I said, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what's going on. I'm just, whatever happens, happens. I'm going with the flow, but I am thinking about my goals for the next year and what I want to accomplish. So I am so glad that you're here with me today listening, because we're diving deep into a topic that really hits close to home for me, and it's staying determined and persevering with the goals, even on the hardest days or when the motivation tank, it's running on empty. Like my motivation tank can run dry real quick, like snap of the fingers, and it's completely empty, and I don't even know what's going on. But I need to be real with you for a second, because there's been plenty of days where I've woken up, I felt like quitting, and truth be told, I did quit. I have quit so many times and restarted, and there really is no shame in that. It's just you can't let it keep you down. You have to get back up. So days when everything feels uphill, when doubts creep in, overwhelm takes over, you just don't feel like doing the work. Yep, I've been there. You've been there. You're not alone. And here's the truth that I've learned. Success, it isn't about showing up only when the things feel easy or exciting. That's the easy part. When your motivation is at an all-time high, you're excited. You are like ready to rock and roll. Your battery is at 100%, 150%. But it's when your energy, your battery is drained, that's where the difference comes in. It's about showing up consistently, especially on the hard days. It's about taking action, even when you're tired, frustrated, or uninspired, or overwhelmed, or when you just don't feel like doing crap at all. That's how dreams are built. Today, I'm going to chat with you about how you can keep moving forward when your motivation feels absolutely nowhere to be found. So, we're going to talk about 3 powerful tips. It's going to help you stay consistent no matter how tough the day gets. And then we're going to explore what happens if you give up. You're going to feel like a piece of crap. I'm just putting it very bluntly. That's how I feel when I give up. Maybe that's how you feel too. I don't know. But understanding those pitfalls can be the extra push that you need to keep going. So, tip number 1, you need to lean into your why. I have heard this a million times over, and it really started resonating with me like mid last year. It's leaning into your why. So maybe you've heard me talk about this before on the podcast, and I just can't stress it enough about your why. When you're feeling unmotivated, you need to reconnect with the why. What is your reason? Why did you set the goal in the first place? What will achieving it mean for you, your family, your life, your health? So, as an example, one thing that I've started doing is I love office supplies and I love post it notes in particular. And I started writing my goal and my reason, my purpose on a post-it note, and I put it where I see it every day. It's usually in my bedroom, on my nightstand, or in my bathroom mirror. And that just is like a daily reminder for me about my purpose, about my goals, because it's not enough to just write them down and then close the notebook or put it in your phone, but then you never see it again. It's about keeping it front of mind, top of mind awareness, putting it someplace that you're going to see it every day. So imagine your future self, the version of who didn't give up. So think about that person like 6 months down the road. You don't have to, if you don't want to go out 6 months, that's fine. Just go out 3 months. Think of that person. What does he or she look like 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road? What does the life for you look like? How do you feel? So getting clear on that vision where you can actually see it, it's going to reignite the spark that you need to push through. So when I first started my business, my why was about freedom. I wanted to create freedom in my own schedule, freedom to spend more time with my family, freedom to build something that I was truly passionate about. And every time I wanted to quit, like 1,000 times, I wanted to toss in the towel, I would picture myself living that dream life. And that vision, it kept me going, even on the hardest days, almost a decade. And oh my gosh, I wanted to toss in the towel so many times because the rewards weren't coming quickly enough for me. I was very impulsive and I needed action like yesterday. I needed results like yesterday. And when I started remembering, why did I create this business? Why was I wanting to make an impact and connect with other people? Why did I want to help other people feel special and beautiful and more confident? So when I remembered that, it's like, okay, the work that I'm doing, it makes a difference. It's making an impact in other people's lives. On my aesthetic table, I had so many women come in and share the joys, the celebrations, the milestones in their life. But also on the other side, I had women come in and tell me about the hurts, the pains, the challenges, the pitfalls, and the struggles that they've had in their life and in their marriage and with their kids. And I'm not a therapist, but I certainly felt like one. I just let them talk. I let them vent. It's what they needed during our appointment, during our time together. And I remembered that. It's like, okay, those are good times. That's why I'm here. I'm here to be a shoulder to lean on. I'm here to be an ear to that listens. You can come into my treatment room on my table and you can vent. You can cry. You can laugh. You can yell. I had a lot of clients swear just because of the type of service that we were doing, which was waxing, body waxing. And so they would swear, and it's just what they needed in that time. But I had so many clients that I felt like I was a part of their life. They became a part of my life. We shared a lot of things. So I leaned into the why, and it kept me going 10 years later. So tip number 2. You need to focus on the small daily wins. And I am not the first person to say this. I know for a fact you have heard this from so many other people. Focus on the small daily wins. It doesn't need to be something huge or extravagant. Something small. Maybe somebody subscribed to your newsletter that you just put out, or maybe you've had it out for, a few weeks and finally somebody saw it and it was like, oh, I think this is pretty cool. I'm signing up for this. I want to know what this person has to offer. So focus on the small wins each day. When motivation is low, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by, the bigger picture. But instead, focus on the small actionable steps. So, what's one tiny thing that you can do today that's going to move you closer to your goal? And again, it doesn't have to be huge, it just needs to be something. Just do something. Don't sit there and overthink, because I've done that and you end up doing nothing. I ended up doing nothing. I have thought about stuff over and over and over again. And, a couple hours later at the end of my workday, it's like, what the heck did I accomplish? Absolutely nothing, because I just couldn't figure out what needed to be done, or I did know what needed to be done, but I just didn't take the steps because I was overthinking. So just think of one small thing, just one thing that's going to help you move closer to your goal. So consistency is built one small action at a time. I'm going to say that again. Consistency is built on one small action at a time. Maybe it's writing one paragraph for your blog, or reaching out to a potential client, or just going for a 10-minute walk. Something as easy as that, a 10-minute walk. Progress compounds over time, and those small wins, they add up, my friend. They add up in a big way. So one small thing, and remember your why. So you don't have to climb that entire mountain in one day. It just small steps every single day. It's going to get you to that peak. So number 3, you need to have accountability. So accountability is something I started implementing later this past year. So just a few months ago, like 4 months ago maybe, is where I became part of an accountability pod. And let me tell you, it was a game changer, because each week we had our call and I needed to be held accountable, and I needed to get done the things that I had stated I was going to get done the week before. So find somebody who you can check in with, like on a regular basis, and that can be a mastermind group. You can hire a coach. You can get a group of friends together that kind of all have like a similar goal. They want to achieve something by a certain timeline. And again, it doesn't have to be a pricey mastermind group. It doesn't have to be a pricey coach, just somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Even going on social media every single day and posting an update. I know somebody, she was a friend of mine back in Wisconsin, and she started a fitness routine, and she wanted to drop weight. She wanted to get healthier and just look and feel better. But every time she went to the gym, she posted a picture, and it was every single day. Every time she ate, she posted a meal. And it was just those small things, those small steps that held her accountable. And over time, I mean, it's been, I think, 5-6 years maybe. She looks amazing. And she doesn't post as often anymore. I think she's gotten pretty close to her goal. But she does still post once in a while, her gym sessions, her the food that she's eating. But that was something that was important for her to help her be accountable and to stay consistent and to help her reach her goal. So now that we've talked about the 3 tips, let's talk about some pitfalls, because there's always the other side of the coin. So we've all faced moments where quitting, it just feels like the easier option. It feels easier to toss in the towel and just throw your hands up and say, I'm done. I don't want to do all of that stuff. So I'm going to do what I want to do, which typically you fail. So pitfall number 1, you're going to lose confidence. Every time you give up on a goal, it's just chipping away little by little at your self-trust. You start to believe the story that you can follow through, which makes it even harder to restart the next time. So consistency, on the other hand, it builds confidence. So giving up, you lose confidence. Staying consistent, it builds confidence. And again, every small win, it's going to remind you that you're capable of doing the hard things. It's just going to reinforce that you are more than capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. And it's just something small every single day. So pitfall number 2, your progress, it's going to be delayed. I cannot tell you how many times that, I wanted to lose weight. Okay, let's just go with that one because that one is a big one for a lot of people, and it is for me. I'm still carrying around 20 extra pounds from when I was pregnant with my son, and he's 14. So I do want to get rid of those 20 pounds that are just clinging to my body for dear life. But gosh, it's so irritating, and I just get so mad at myself because I would start, and a couple weeks in, my mindset, it honestly just wasn't right. It wasn't in the right frame. And so I would give up. I'd be like, I want dessert. I want a cheat meal. I want the foods that are forbidden. And that's why I hate the word diet. It's a 4-letter word, obviously, but it's just about the things that you cannot have. That's what your mind starts focusing on. So I started thinking about things as a lifestyle change. And that's when it clicked for me. And that's how I'm able to stay consistent and make those steps each day. But going back to delayed progress. So when I would start a fitness routine or eating differently, I gave up after a couple weeks because I have no idea why. And then 3 months later, it's like, well, crap. Had I stuck with it, even on the hard days, I could have met my goal. I could have fit into, the jeans that I want to fit into. I could have seen a number on the scale that I haven't seen in so many years. I know the type of body and shape that I want. It is not the type of body that I had pre-kids because I'm proud of the body that I have. And I could just tone up a little bit in some areas, but you need to stay consistent. You need to keep those daily steps every day because if you don't, your progress is going to be delayed. And 3 months later, you're going to be angry at yourself for giving up. You're going to be angry that you have to restart. And had you just stuck with it, you would have already met your goal. So, which brings me to pitfall number 3, missed opportunities. When you quit, you miss out on the opportunities that could have come your way. You never know what breakthrough is just around the corner, or the people that you could meet, or the doors that could be opened. So those moments happen when you keep showing up. So I'm going to give you an example of that one. So this past fall, a few months ago, I started podcasting. And actually, I started that back in January of 2024. I got my undies in a bundle one day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start a podcast. And I did. I just recorded an episode on a whim, but then I didn't do anything with it. I had this grandiose idea of what I wanted it to be like, but I didn't write any of that down. I didn't write down my vision, my plan, what I'm going to do each day or what I'm going to do each week. So out the window that went. And then I think it was June, I recorded another episode. And then July, another episode. So I wasn't consistent. Obviously, I wasn't consistent. And it was just, again, on a whim whenever I felt like it. But it really didn't have a place in my business or in my mind or on my calendar either. But when I started showing up consistently, and that I think was October, just a couple months ago, October 2024, I started showing up consistently. It's like, no, this is how I'm going to reach my audience. This is how I'm going to talk to my audience and impart some wisdom that's going to help make their lives better, help them make their lives easier, help their health get better. And not only hearing from me, but other people. And in a month, so like what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I have an amazing guest coming on this podcast. I was reaching for the stars with this one and didn't think he would say yes at all. And I just put myself out there. I'm like, what the hey? I'm going to do it anyway. And I scooped up the entire freaking universe with this guest. I am so excited. But had I not stayed consistent and put out weekly episodes, I know for a fact this collaboration never would have happened. So I decided back in October, I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to make this a part of my plan, a part of my business. This is how I'm going to reach people. And so many other doors of opportunity have opened for me. So in a week, so next Friday, I am recording another podcast. It's going to be a bonus episode. Friday the 17th, we're recording, so it'll probably be released the week after that Friday. And it is with a beautiful friend of mine. She's been on the cover of Oxygen magazine. She's she's like this huge name in the fitness industry. And I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give it away. So you have to keep listening. But she's published 5 books. She's a huge name in the fitness industry, her and her husband. I mean, they are like, their bodies have been just chiseled by God. So I know that they've done the hard work. They've been dedicated. This is their life. This is their dream. And they have stayed consistent. But again, this podcast episode, this collaboration with her, she would not have been a guest on my podcast if I was just all willy-nilly with this Goalpreneur podcast. So that would have been another opportunity that was missed. So staying consistent, it is so important. All right. So we're going to wrap this up. I want you to know that the road to your goals, it's not always smooth. It is not always straight. There's days when you want to give up. You want to toss in the towel. The road, it's going to be up, down, bumpy. There's going to be pitfalls. You need to know how to navigate that. Remember this, though, perseverance is your superpower. Consistency is your secret weapon. So keep showing up, keep taking action. Trust that all your efforts are adding up, even if it's not immediate. Be patient, be still, take those daily steps. When your motivation feels out of reach, again, lean into the why. Focus on the small wins. It doesn't have to be just the big ones, but focus on the small wins and create accountability. You have what it takes to reach your dreams. The only person that's getting in your way, the only thing that is stopping you is you. So please take a look in the mirror. You're the one person that can make or break your dream. Okay, so one determined step at a time. Oh my gosh, my voice is starting to go. I want to thank you for spending your day with me, your time with me, for listening to this episode. I did kind of go off on little rants here and there, so thanks for sticking with me. If this episode resonated with you, I would absolutely love for you to share it with a friend, take a friend, or leave a review. It helps so much in reaching more amazing goal getters like you. So until next time, my friend, keep dreaming big, keep taking action, and I will be cheering you on every step of the way. Talk to you soon. Bye.